How's it going? How's everybody doing? Essential Notes, back to talk fragrance with you once again. And today I'm going to be talking about a fragrance that was one of my most worn fragrances in 2024. And it's one that I've grown to adore. I'm a big fan of incense. It may be like my favorite kind of section of like perfumery or fragrance. I just really haven't smelled too many incense fragrances that I don't like. But then what's really cool is when there's a brand or a fragrance that gets released from a brand that is unique and it does a unique twist and maybe something you've never imagined in an incense fragrance. And those are always my standouts and favorites. So the fragrance I'm going to be discussing is Basilica by Milano Fragranze. And these were released, I think Basilica came out, it was part of their initial release when the brand was launched. And that was in 2021. The perfumer is let me see, I don't want to butcher her name. Violaine, either Collas or Collas. Violaine Collas, we'll run with that. And anyways, she did a phenomenal job. I'll kind of go over the notes to start with. I typically kind of give my impressions and then go over the notes, but I want to just start with the notes. So you have thyme and rosemary at the top. In the mid, you have incense, milk, labdanum. In the base, you have woody notes, cedar, and cypriol. Anyways, that's the notes. But basically, what I get is this rosemary incense. And there is something so beautiful when you have like the use of these fresh aromatics coupled with incense. And I've not seen that done. I've seen some spices, I've seen some florals, I've seen some fruitiness kind of coupled with these with an incense vibe. But this feels literally like rosemary and incense, like that. Those are the two main ingredients. Thyme kind of is a more supportive aromatic component that's there up at the top, but the real standout is the rosemary, and it goes beyond just rosemary incense for me. There's a creaminess to it, obviously from the milk accord, what they're calling a milk accord. There's that component there, but there's also, I get this fresh baked bread, almost like a rosemary focaccia bread that's warm just out of the oven. And then you have that, it's like mingling with the incense. And then, but you also still get the rosemary incense. So it's kind of heavy on the rosemary. And if that's something that, you find comfort. I find a great deal of comfort in that for whatever reason. I remember growing up, my mom had rosemary in the backyard that she would grow. And I don't know, it just kind of has this home feel. And then mixed with, again, that kind of baked good component and the milk, it just does something extremely special. I don't know of anything like this. It's very unique. And again, I wear it in the evenings. It's a very comforting scent. It has a relaxing feel to it. I think it's the kind of the aromatics. It's like, it's relaxed and then meditative at the same time. So it kind of has this spiritual component that, there's certain notes that have been coupled with spirituality, and a lot of those are resins and things like that. So then you have your incense that's pulling that off, but then you have these uplifting, rejuvenating aromatics, and the blend of those is very much therapeutic. It's very calming, mind and your emotions as well. I love it. As far as this fragrance doesn't last a ton. I wouldn't say I used to think dude, if I'm gonna pay good amount of money, I want it to be able to work a full day's shift. You know what I mean? And I think I'm right in a lot of ways. I think there's a lot of people that can relate to that. If you're gonna pay good money, you want to get your money's worth. But at the same time, I'm really growing to appreciate more kind of gentle, nuanced fragrances. And then I use them in the evenings. But anyway, the bottles are also tremendously beautiful. So I love the blue glass. I love the round bottle, the cap, gold cap. It's heavy, and it snaps into place. You can hold it by the cap. The atomizer, let's take a look. Dude, it's very phenomenal. So yeah, like you get right away, you get that a wave of the aromatics. But again, that baked element, it feels like this baked element kind of is what pushes it forward. It's almost presented through the baked element. And then down underneath that is where you get that milk component. And so it's not overly, I wouldn't lactonic or creamy. I wouldn't even designate it as creamy, but you sense that there's a component, like a creamy component there, but it kind of does its own thing. It kind of is there as a layer to add dimension. I think that's what it's doing probably the most, is adding like a lactonic dimension rather than making it creamy or making it lactonic or milky. There's a little bit of spice too, to just kind of, it feels like it textures the aromatics a little bit. In addition to, like, the thyme and the rosemary, but it feels like there's a little bit of spiciness that's tugging on them. And then the incense is in the background. And again, it is a rosemary incense. It feels very much like it's those two coming together in the background with that smoky element. And really there's just a nice base. Like, I think they had mentioned cedar. That's what I was gonna say. Cedar is there in the bottom, kind of just, it is the platter on which everything is served, really. It's just a nice, beautiful, warm, inviting woodiness that everything else is kind of coming off of. And like I said, the performance on this isn't superb. The projection is nice within the first maybe 30 minutes. This is a personal scent, I feel like. There are people that will catch wafts. My wife, when I wear this, and she's like, what are you doing to me? Like, it is this inviting, and it because I think it has a bit of a gourmand essence to it, it does pull on the, I want some of that. Like, gourmands, like if they're good, you need more of it. You're like, it's a bit of an addictive thing. And I feel like this has that. It's not sweet. It's not like a sweet bread or anything. Like I said, it's more like a fresh baked focaccia. I wouldn't call it savory. It's just like fresh baked essence and then you have the creaminess. Oh, this is phenomenal. If you like gentle, nuanced, meditative, spiritual fragrances like that, and you also are a big fan of incense, I would highly, highly, highly recommend you try that. I'll leave a link for Milano Fragranze and maybe a couple links of places you might be able to pick this up at. And if you try it, or if you have tried it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please come and comment. Tell me what you liked about it, what you didn't like. Let me know of other fragrances, incense fragrances that you feel are very unique and do something special. I would love to kind of engage and interact with you guys and learn more from you guys as well. Again, if you guys can, this is a fairly new channel. If you can, like, comment, subscribe, share this review, that would be greatly appreciated. Appreciate you guys, everyone that's supported me up to this point, and look forward to more. Bless you guys. Peace.